everybody, and welcome back to My Little Pony What Works. Today, to fill in the break time, we're taking a look at Amy Keating Rogers' latest story in...
Testing! 1, 2, 3!
How does he do that without a microphone? This episode involves Rainbow Dash studying the history of the Wonderbolts to qualify for the Wonderbolts Reserves, which, as pointed out by Commander Firebrand, is a requirement in the military to brush up on the history of your respected branch. Okay, quick tangent. Why is Rainbow doing this? We've seen in the past the Wonderbolts have been proven to be ineffectual, ignorant, and backstabbing. Why does she still want to join? Then again, adding her to the Wonderbolts could actually be beneficial to the Elite Flyers. Back on track, Twilight offers Rainbow to teach her about the history of the Wonderbolts. However, her study methods are proven ineffectual, as Rainbow fails a pop quiz horribly. So she has to find some study method to utilize in order to pass the exam. I'll go right ahead and say I enjoyed the hell out of this episode and the conflict presented. Heck, Amy Keating Rogers has had experience with this since, as she said, she had trouble learning as a kid, and also as a child who has to learn at their own pace. The thing I admired most was the different study methods presented in order for Rainbow to pass her test. Twilight takes the traditional textbook approach, which includes highlighting, taking notes, flashcards, and the ever-dreaded checklist. Yeah, I'm not a fan of those. Fluttershy implements a show-by-example way of studying by putting on a play, which is my preferred method of study. Pinkie Pie uses, as she calls, musical intervention, but I know there's another name for it, where she interweaves a rap number with the history of the Wonderbolts. You know, like the Bone Song in that one episode of Hannah Montana. Don't ask me how I know that! And finally, Rarity uses imagery for text learning, showing the history of the Wonderbolts through their uniforms. Ultimately, Rainbow Dash learns best when she multitasks. As she points out, she has to take everything in and be very observant of her surroundings when flying. Heck, we even got a hint of it at the very beginning when Twilight tries to sneak up on her. Very subtle use of foreshadowing. While we're on the topic of learning, Testing 1, 2, 3 delved into some interesting history concerning the creation of the Wonderbolts. Yay, more world building! So do I think the story is perfect? No, there were two things that bugged me. One is the fact that Rainbow blames Twilight for being a bad teacher after failing the pop quiz. No. I don't care if the methods were ineffectual or not, Rainbow didn't give Twilight's methods a chance. And keep in mind, this was the moment that set the oh shit, I'm going to fail miserably plot in motion. I don't care if you were uninterested, you gave Twilight a hard time, you ungrateful slacker!
Do you need to talk this out?
No, I'm good. Just keep reading your material for October.
Okay, I'll go back to... reading. Who's laughing now, Shortclaw Pants? Who's laughing now?
Well, at least he has a healthy hobby. The other point of contention I had was the revelation. Like I pointed out earlier, Rainbow Dash takes everything in because she must pay attention to her surroundings, no matter how insignificant they may be to her. However, the second flyby with her unconsciously learning the history of the Wonderbolts seemed a bit off to me. Maybe it was how the dialogue was scripted, but it felt like her learning unconsciously, as presented, was a bit of a stretch. But I might just be looking at it differently. Interesting parallel for the episode. Never thought I'd be impressed with scene transitions. The opening scene with the methods Twilight learns was a creative way to move the plot along. Jeez, when was the last time I saw that implemented? Home Improvement? I especially dug the transition to the 90s rap music video. Just to show how much work was put into the scene, they had to reduce the video quality to 4:3 resolution, add a grain filter, and muffle the audio in order to get that retro feel. Look at me, calling the early 90s retro. Speaking of the rap scene, I could not get a word in edgewise of what Pinkie was saying. While I'm not a fan of rap, in fact this and hip-hop are my least favorite music genres, I like the scene more for the entertainment value rather than the lyrical composition. The score was nice though. Now, I really like this episode's comedy. This is the type of humor I expect from Amy Keating Rogers. Silly, but lighthearted, not mean-spirited and cringeworthy. What I find interesting is the one I'm laughing the most with is Spike, and he doesn't say a word in the episode. Also, the aforementioned rap number was hilarious. Other than that, entertainment value was good. When I talked about It's About Time, my top 10 favorite Season 2 episodes, I stated the moral should be taught to students that were entering college or already attending. This episode's moral should be taught to those professors. One way of learning isn't necessarily better than the other, and everyone will learn differently. Sometimes you'll need to work with your student to find the most effective way of teaching them on the individual level. Gotta say, Amy surprised me with this well-connecting moral. Alright, let's recap. The story is well paced with great world building, but the driving force was contradictory. While characters didn't get to develop much, visuals and music were presented well, the humor is spot on, and the moral aims more for the teachers rather than the student. Overall, I give Testing 1, 2, 3, 3.5 stars out of 4. Next time, Scott Sonneborn returns as he gives us Tradia. Hopefully he'll put out a better story than last time. Until then, I'm the voice of reason, and I'll see you next time.